going out for a bit. Could you tell housekeeping they wanted to know when they could clean my room?
Sure thing.
Thanks. Why does a reporter from an upstate newspaper want to do a story on Viki?
We're facing a drug crisis in our city, too.
Well, she has some interesting suggestions. I assume you read some of her statements to the Washington Committee. In fact, I got some copies here of her testimony so far. You should take along a copy for your background. It'll knock your socks off.
I don't want you to think we're prejudiced or anything. We're totally objective, especially this guy.
Well, I'm very proud of my wife. I'm just sorry that every city in the country doesn't have a mayoral candidate as intelligent and qualified as she is.
You're a liar and a damned hypocrite. Jared?
It's Lily. Can I come in?
Yeah, come on in.
Hi.
Hey,
Max, what are you doing?
I told you I was leaving.
But not so soon.
The sooner the better.
No, Max, you're wrong. You're still weak from the surgery. And I know you're depressed about the operation not going as we hoped.
I've accepted that, Lily. I just want to tell you something. I really appreciate everything you've done for me. But I've got to get out of here.
No, I won't let you do
Really,
that.
no. Lily?
Here's what to do when you don't find the rainbows in this time. Here's where you go when it looks like the rain won't end. Don't cry. I'll give you tomorrow. Let me be the one to share it with. And each day that follows, 'cause we only have one life to live.
Dad, this is Malcolm Shaw from the Daily Ledger.
Listen, I know who he is. He called me about Victoria, and I told him she had very little time for out-of-town interviews.
Mr. Buchanan contacted me and agreed to set up a meeting with her.
Roger, we can certainly rearrange our schedule to accommodate the media. I mean, they are the fellows who spread the good news. And as a newspaper man myself...
Look, Clint, I'm Victoria's campaign manager, and I'm in charge of her schedule. I help shape her policy, and I decide how that policy will be presented to the public.
Roger, he wants 20 minutes. That's all. We can give him 20 minutes.
You have no right to contact the media on your own or speak on Victoria's behalf.
Look, I'm sorry if I stepped on your delicate ego. I apologize, but we're all working for the same goal here. That's to get Viki elected.
Yeah, that's certainly my goal, but it sure as hell isn't yours.
Look, Dad, as a matter of fact, you had some phone messages. Some of them were urgent. I think maybe you should take care of them.
No, wait a minute. Let's just settle this little misunderstanding right
Do you
here.
think possibly you could settle this at another time?
There's no time like the present. Roger, Viki is my wife. I have an interest in her campaign. I also have a right to speak for her.
Not even a month ago, you were speaking against her. When she first entered this race, you did everything in your power to keep her out of politics. You've been fighting her every step of the way. You even threatened to divorce her.
That's old news, Roger.
Yeah, but she stood her ground, and now you've decided that you're going to lose her to me, so you've decided to just jump on this bandwagon.
I jumped on the bandwagon to keep it from falling over because of you.
Yeah, well, you don't give a damn about Victoria or this election. All you care about are your own little selfish interests. That's all you've ever cared about.
As you can see, we have a difference of opinion here from time to time, and Roger has a tendency to personalize his. Roger, this is a respected journalist. He can do Viki a lot of good. Now, we don't want him to think that we got too many screws loose in the machine, do we?
Actually, I find this fascinating.
No, actually, I think we should be concentrating on Viki's campaign, not her personal life.
But if she's torn between two men...
She's not torn between two men. She's not torn at all. I'm her husband, and I'm living with her. End of story. Right, Gordon?
Go back to the banner, and you stay out of this campaign. And if I hear you mouthing off to the media again...
What are you gonna do? You gonna deck me?
Wait a minute here. No one is going to deck anyone. This conversation is over. Dad, let's go get some coffee.
Settle this
Dad!
right now.
No, what you want is to end up on the floor so you can sue me for assault, right? I'm not gonna play that little game with you. Come on, Malcolm, let's get out of here, get some fresh air.
And don't come back, Buchanan. This place is off limits to you.
Morning.
Morning.
Where's Stephen?
He's with Miss Verdon out at the cottage watching the contractors do their work. Seems to be his favorite pastime these days.
Oh, well, that's good. Shows that he has an intelligent curiosity. I see that, Viki has made the headlines once again.
Yes, she's in Washington. She's still talking with, congressmen.
Yes, and obviously giving some press conferences about Carlo Hesser. Looks like he's wearing the same tie as when he was here. Hey, he was here last week. You walked in at the end of our meeting.
Yes, I thought I recognized him.
Actually, I was hoping that you hadn't seen his face clearly.
Well, it's your house, Michael.
No, you're living here right now, Brenda, at least until the cottage is repaired, and I can tell that you're a bit upset that somebody like that was in my home.
Well, he is not exactly the kind of man that I want Stephen to know, Michael, assuming that he is a major drug distributor around here.
He is not the kind of man I want anywhere near Stephen or you. If I had my way, I would protect both of you from everything unsavory in the entire world. Unfortunately, as a businessman, sometimes I'm forced to deal with these undesirables, people like Hesser.
Are you admitting to me that you do business with that man?
No, he wants to do business with me. That's why he was here. He's trying to muscle his way into my hotel accounts.
Why?
Well, he needs a place to launder his dirty money. That's how those people work. They sink large sums of cash into legitimate businesses, start paying taxes, and all of a sudden they're untouchable.
Well, what did you say to him?
Well, despite his attempts to intimidate me, I told him to get lost.
Did he threaten you, Michael?
Well, he was subtle about it. I countered with some of my own subtleties. That's why things were so tense when you walked in.
Yeah, but I heard you say something about calling your bank.
Yes, that was a veiled threat. I implied that I would contact some high-ranking bank officials I know in Europe and South America, get some information I could then turn over to the police. He got the message and left. I'm quite sure we won't be hearing from him again.
Miss Gordon didn't tell me she was having trouble with her telephone.
Well, this is her private line, so she probably just called us direct. You don't have to hang out. I don't know how long this is going to take.
Oh, Mr. Novak, there seems to be a mix-up in the reservations for Suite 507. 2 different parties were booked into the suite.
We don't have another suite available?
No, sir.
Well, go ahead. You don't have to worry. I'm not going to steal anything, okay? I'll tell you what. All technicians and repairmen are bonded. Here's my ID number. Oh, my name. If there's any problem. Okay?
Great.
I'll bring your lunch tray in a little while.
I'll help you fix lunch.
No.
Come on, Lily, open it. You can't keep me locked in here forever. Jared will come here, you know. Late in the afternoon, and he's gonna let me out. Now, come on, open the door.
Matt, I'm doing this for your own good. Because running away is no answer, and I'm not going to let you do it. I can't let you go.
There's nothing for me here. Or in Landview. Now, if the operation has been successful, if there was a chance that I would look normal again, then maybe I'd stay, but not now, okay? Now, open the door! Open the damn door!
Max? Do you give up? Are you gonna stay? Max, answer me. Are you all right?
Thanks.
Yeah. I thought you were passed out on the floor.
You didn't give me much choice, did you?
Well, I know locking you in here was a ridiculous idea.
Yep.
But I need you to stay, Max.
You like a lot of people around you, don't you?
Well,
I don't blame you. You spend a lot of time alone. Except when Jared can extricate himself from his wife and his work. I'm really sorry about that, Lily.
well, if you'd stay, I wouldn't be lonely anymore.
No, I'm not the person for you. In my condition, I'm no use to anyone.
That's not true, Max. We can be a help to each other. But I can help you get the faith in yourself back again.
No, don't you worry about me. I'll cope. I always have.
But I can't. I need to find out about the outside world, and you are the only person that will tell me. Please, just stay a while longer.
Lily, the outside world doesn't exist for me anymore. Everyone thinks I'm dead. So the best thing for me to do is to go and live alone.
It's no good for you to be alone.
Don't worry about me, okay? I'll get by. I'll find a place of my own. I'll take it one day at a time, and if need be, one moment
No,
at
Max.
a time.
Max, if you cut yourself off from the rest of the world, you won't survive.
And the next time you take Clint's side against me...
Dad, I was not siding with Clint. I was trying to get you to back off so you wouldn't make a complete...
What? What? Complete fool of myself? Is that what you were going to say?
Look, what is going on with you? I've never even seen you like this.
Look, Sarah, I will not allow Clint's paranoia to undermine this campaign. Victoria has worked too hard and made too many sacrifices for him to just waltz in and destroy it with his selfishness and jealousy.
Fine, fine. You have a problem with Clint, why don't you work it out somewhere else? Not in front of all the volunteers and not in front of a reporter.
Yeah, well, if he were embarrassed in public more often, he might just get the message and back off.
I think the only person who is going to be embarrassed is Viki.
Well, if she had any sense, you'd tell him to take a hike. She should have done that ages ago, but he knows how to push all those buttons to make her feel guilty.
Dad, I think that's probably her decision.
Yeah, I know, but eventually she'll figure out that her life would be better off without him. But in the meantime, it's my responsibility to make this campaign run as smoothly as possible.
Okay, look, you know something? I was just thinking, I don't think you've taken a day off since Viki decided to run for mayor. Why don't you take a little bit of a vacation while she...
Why didn't let Clint move in? No way!
I'm worried about you, Dad. I mean, you're so exhausted, you could hardly even stand up. Now, what good does that do the campaign or Viki?
Well, is that what you want? Is you want Clint to take over?
No! Look, I'm on your side, remember? I love you.
I'm sorry, sweetheart.
What?
Look, I don't mean to snap at you.
No, it's all right, and that's not what I'm worried about at all.
Listen, if I seem a little paranoid, it's just that I'm aware of the damage that Clint can do. He's capable of destroying anything when he feels threatened, and this campaign is definitely a threat.
All right, so I think you should sit down and talk to him about this.
I'd make more headway talking to a mule. Look, you just stay out of it. This is between Clint and me, and I guarantee you I don't mean to lose. Look, I got to get to the printers, so see you later.
Dear Raymond, Bo managed to get a tape of your press conference for me. You were sensational, of course, every inch the King of Mendorra. You looked very relaxed, and your smile lit up the ballroom the way it lit up your bedroom. Well, almost. I'm happy that all the trouble is behind you, and Mendorra is peaceful again. Holy cow. Megan and the King. This girl gets around. Viki's campaign for mayor is going well. I've jumped right in to help her. I figure it's the least a daughter can do, and it keeps me busy. I finally accepted the fact that you and I can't be together, and in my heart as well as my mind, But the loneliness. She didn't finish. How could a guy let a girl like this get away? If you're her prince, pal, you're hurting.
I can't stay here, Lily. I'm no good for you.
That's not true. And I won't let you go off and hide in some cave and only come out when it's dark and avoid stores and crowds and...
What choice do I have?
You need your friends. You need your loved ones. You thrive on human contact.
That's the old Max, Lily.
No.
He's gone forever.
No. He's right here with me. And he's the one that showed me that I need people in my life, too. But I need someone that can teach me how to make friends and take risks. You know, you're the first friend I've had in years.
You'll make more friends, don't worry about it. Just take it one step at a time. You'll be surprised how easy it is.
I can't do this without your support.
Hey, you've already done it. By taking the initial steps, by getting to know me.
Max, please don't go away. I'm so scared.
Lily, don't cry. Don't cry. It's okay.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that this man shows up at the front door and says that he wants to talk to you, and you do?
He thinks he owns the town, Brenda, and he can just come and go, whether he's welcome or not.
Michael, why didn't you just call the police?
What? And tell them that Carlo Hesser was threatening me?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm sure he would just deny it.
And then he would go about making my life miserable.
And if you threatened him, I'm... Oh, my God, Michael. Does he know that Stephen lives here?
Well, I imagine he could figure that out, but, I don't want you to start worrying about Stephen.
Listen, a man like Hesser doesn't care whom he hurts.
No, I will not let anything happen to Stephen. Please, Brenda, there is nothing to worry about here. Now, Hesser made his move. It didn't pan out. He'll go threaten somebody else.
Yeah, but when
he might even take a pile of money and build his own hotel.
Cross a man like that, especially when you have something that he wants.
Brenda,
and
no. I guarantee that he won't come around here. Now, this is exactly why I did not want you to know about Hesser. I don't want you worrying about him. I don't want you having nightmares, letting your imagination run wild.
Michael, my imagination's been running wild since the day I recognized that photo.
Why didn't you come and talk to me then?
I don't know. I think it's just because I didn't want to believe what I was thinking.
Have you mentioned these fears to anybody else? Forgive me. That was unfair. Of course, you wouldn't speak to anybody else before you talked to me. I'm sorry.
Why didn't you come to me the minute he walked out of this door? I mean, if you had done that, we would have solved this thing days ago, Michael.
You know, you're right. It's my mistake. I was trying to protect you and it backfired.
Well, please, don't try to protect me and treat me like a China doll, because I'm not. And when there are problems around here, I want you to come to me and talk to me about them. Maybe I'll be able to help you solve them. I don't like misunderstandings.
Either do I. And so you have my word. I'll never keep anything from you again, okay?
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that that's solved.
So am I.
What are you doing in my suite?
Just fixing the phone.
Excuse me, I didn't hear you.
I was fixing the phone.
Well, my phone's not broken. I used it right before I left.
You had a transmission problem. It's okay now, though.
I'm telling you, I used it right before I left, and even if it did conk out, there was no one here to report it. So what are you doing here?
You had some crossed wires. We traced it back from the main office. It's okay now, though.
Oh. Well, the manager didn't tell me.
Well, I fixed it, so don't mean to cause any problem
Sorry.
here.
No, wait a minute. I know who you are.
Sorry, lady. I've never met you before.
Oh, yes. I've met you before. You were the man that was giving me a hard time at the press conference yesterday.
I don't know anything about any press conference. You must have the wrong man.
I never forget the face of an enemy. Now, what are you doing here in my room?
I told you, I came to fix the
Okay,
phone.
fine, fine. If you're not going to tell me the truth, I'll call the manager and the police.
You had some crossed wires. I just did my job.
I did. Fine. You can tell all of that to the cops.
Okay. I was at the press conference yesterday. And I stand by everything I said there, too. And you just proved me right.
What, I just proved that Viki Buchanan is running for mayor because she wants to line her pockets?
No, you proved that rich people only care about themselves. Look at you. You're calling the cops just because I'm not wearing some $1,000 suit with a $100 tie. It's just because rich people only trust rich people, is that it? If your mother becomes mayor, I fear what's going to happen. It's just going to have everybody thrown in jail.
Wait, just wait 1 second. If you were to walk in and find some stranger in your apartment, what would you do? You'd probably shoot them, right? And then ask questions.
I would assume that he's just a hard-working, honest individual like myself trying to make a buck. And if there was any problems, any doubts, I'd ask him if he had any ID before I'd call the SWAT team, have the place surrounded.
Okay, fine. Let's see your ID, please.
Here you go. You want my boss's number, too? Maybe a work order number, or you want to take my fingerprints and make sure I don't have a rap sheet?
All right, I'm sorry if I offended you.
Save your apologies for the reporters. What are they going to think when I tell them how Viki Buchanan treats the working people of this city?
Michael could have been just covering his tracks when he saw you reading the paper.
Yeah, well, that thought crossed my mind, too, I'm embarrassed to say, but I think he's telling the truth, and I feel real bad for doubting him.
Don't ever feel bad about doubting people like Michael Grand. 99% of the time, you will be right. He made Vicky's life a living hell when he first came to town. I will never trust that fella, so don't even ask me to give him a break.
Clint, he made my life a living hell when he took my son and ran off to Arizona, but he has changed. He has.
People like Michael Grand don't change. Now, he's a good-looking fella, and he's charming, but he is crooked as a dog's hind leg. He's interested in two things, Brenda, money and power, and he doesn't give a damn how he comes by them.
Well, you're wrong. But I'm not here to argue about Michael, okay? I just wanted to clear everything up with you and tell you that I'm very sorry. I apologize for upsetting you.
Apology accepted.
Okay.
He said Hesser was trying to move in on his hotel business?
What's the word? He said that he was muscling in. That was the word. He said that these drug guys, what they do is that they launder their money by investing in legitimate business. And there was something else, too.
What?
Michael was trying to hide his fear, but I could see it. That Hesser guy really shook him up.
Maybe he was shook up because he was afraid you were going to blow his friendship with Hesser.
No. Now, I trust Michael. You don't have to. That's fine. But I do. I trust him.
What if you're wrong? What if he is working with Hesser? You're living there under his roof. So is your son, Stephen. Now, if this thing does blow up, the two of you are going to be caught right smack dab in the middle of it.
Listen, I know that he wouldn't do anything to hurt Stephen. He loves that boy so much. In fact, I know that he would risk his life to protect him.
There are millions of dollars at stake here. That kind of money blinds people to their responsibilities, their common sense, even to the danger to people they care about the most.
No, you're wrong about that. Michael found out the hard way when he lost his wife and his child, what are the most important things in life. He isn't going to make that mistake again. So listen, you don't even think about Michael anymore, all right? You just concentrate on getting Viki elected.
I apologize. I didn't mean to startle you.
I thought you wouldn't be here until this afternoon.
Well, I had a free hour this morning, and I thought I'd spend it with Lily. We haven't had a chance to spend much time together these last few days.
Excuse me.
No, you don't have to rush out of here, Lily. He knows what's happening here. You were upset. I put my arms around you. It's no big deal. You know, you got her thinking that she's done something wrong. We're just friends, Jared. You know that as well as I do. Now, you want to make her feel guilty because I acted like a friend and comforted her?
That wasn't my intention.
Well, that's how you made her feel. And it's not fair to her.
Leave her alone, Max. You don't know Lily. You don't know anything about her past. You don't know a thing about her.
Wrong. I know she's a very caring and very sensitive person. And you have no right to treat her like a child. And you're way off base if you're jealous of me.
I'm not jealous.
Well, the way you treated her disproves that. Don't you see, Jared? I mean, she responded to me because I'm the only friend she's made in 10 years. Jared, she needs friends. She's a human being, for Pete's sake. Now, if she's upset, she needs to be comforted. Now, what's your problem about that?
My relationship with Lily is no concern of yours. You are a patient here, nothing more.
Wrong again. Lily is my friend, and I want what's best for her. Now, granted, you're real busy, so you may not know what her needs are. Or maybe you don't even care.
Your concern for Lily could be harmful to her. If you really care about her like you claim you do, then get out of her life. Leave her alone.
You just don't get it, do you? She doesn't want to be left alone.
If you hadn't filled her head full of a bunch of ideas, she'd be perfectly content with the life she had before you arrived.
Why are you so afraid of change, Jared, huh? Why do you keep insisting that Lily be isolated from the world and people?
That is for her own best interests.
No. You mean your best interest. You know, you got a nice little setup here, a real cozy little setup, and you don't want anybody to rock your boat. Well, guess what? I'm here to rock it. You got a wife at home. You got a big practice at the hospital, raking in big bucks and lots of respect. And you got a beautiful mistress hidden here who's at your beck and call.
I love her.
If you love her that much, then divorce your wife and marry her.
Lily understands why that's not possible now.
Why? Why? Are you afraid of a scandal or something? I mean, people get divorced all the time nowadays. I mean, there's no stigma to it. You're just too damn selfish to give up anything so that Lily can be happy, huh?
She needs my protection. She needs the safety of these walls.
She needs to be free! But she's not gonna say anything to you. Because she feels she owes you for saving her life. Now, Jared, if you really love her and you can't marry her, then release her so that she can enjoy life. And then she can find a man who can truly love her and give her the happiness she deserves. Come on, Jared. Let her go.
Sorry about not knocking. I had to come in when the coast was clear.
Anybody see you come up?
No.
Good.
I was down at the printer, so I took the service elevator up.
Malcolm Shaw went off to write his article on the division in the Buchanan campaign, namely the feud between you and me.
That's what we wanted.
By the way, you get an A for your performance. Then again, you've been yelling at me for so long that I guess the longer you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah, well, I wonder if lying to my daughter will get any easier.
Well, I didn't like upsetting Sarah either.
Yeah. Bo and Sarah went to pick up their marriage license the other day. This should be a happy time for her. She loves working on Victoria's campaign. She's damn good, too.
Do you have any other ideas how to infiltrate Herb's campaign?
No, I'm afraid this is our only option.
Well, we could do it the other way around. I'll attack you, and I'll quit Viki's campaign.
Yeah,
and
we've
join
been
hers.
through that. It won't work.
Well, then I guess we're stuck with making Sarah miserable for a while.
Yeah.
We have to find a link with Hesser and Michael Grand. Then we hit another snag today.
What's that?
Brenda was in here a little while ago, and she was swearing up and down that Hesser and Michael Grand are bitter enemies.
Well, what happened? She thought they were working together.
Yeah, well, he found her reading today's edition of the Banner, you know, with the photo of Hesser on the front page. I guess he suspected that she recognized him, so he gave her some cock and bull story about Hesser threatening him and going to move in or muscle in on the hotel business. Now, she went for that hook, line, and sinker. I know she's naive, but I can't understand anyone believing that man. I'm convinced that he and Hesser are working together. There's too many pieces that fit together.
So I guess it's full speed ahead, huh?
Yes, but the next step is going to be the toughest. Viki's going to be home soon. And it isn't going to be as easy to fool her as it was Sarah and those campaign workers.
Look, I am constantly hearing and reading about women who are assaulted and raped, and so it puts me on my guard, even against decent men like you. I'm sorry. It gives you a bad rap, but that's the reality of the world we live in these days.
I understand. I have a younger sister. I worry about her all the time.
All right, and I'm sure that you've heard that my mother has been assaulted by drug lords in this city.
No. How would I hear that?
Well, it's front page news. You do read the newspaper, don't you?
Just the sports section.
Right, well, anyway, my father is worried that I'm going to be the drug dealer's next victim, so you can imagine that that's what was running through my head when I saw you standing here in my room, especially since you gave me such a hard time at that press conference. And you have to admit that it's quite a coincidence that out of all the phone repairmen in this whole city, you're the one that ends up coming here and repairing my phone.
Yeah, well, there've been laying off a lot of people at the company. You know, left and right people have been going, so we're covering a lot more territory than we usually do.
Well, see, that's another thing that my mother is concerned about, the unemployment. And so she's prepared this position paper on bringing more industry into Landview to create more jobs for people.
Yeah, I bet you your mother's best friends with, like, a lot of repairmen and maids and
You know
butlers.
what your problem is?
What?
You're a reverse snob. Someone should really knock that chip off your shoulder.
Hey, this chip was hard won, lady. Ever since I was in grade school and rich people like yourself would stomp on me.
Look, I'm really sorry that you've had some hard experiences, but I don't really think that gives you the right to assume that anybody who has money is insensitive.
I just know what I know.
Well, you don't know my mother, and I think that she deserves the chance to prove that you're wrong about her.
Well, next time, I'll tell you what, I'll go past the sports page and I'll read about Victoria's campaign speeches in the Banner.
No, wait, I've got a better idea. Why don't you just come down to the campaign headquarters and meet Viki yourself?
What? Come down, shake her hand, give her $1 for a campaign button, that kind of thing?
I bet you $10. But if you were to meet her and talk to her, that she'd win you over.
You better pay me that 10 right now.
Oh, no, that's no deal. You have to go down there and talk to her. I'm sure that she'd be very happy to tell you what she plans on doing if she's elected, and I know that she'd be very interested in hearing your views on certain issues.
You gotta be kidding me.
Why don't you come down and find out? I know that you'd be very surprised. And I think you'd be very helpful as well. I mean, there are a lot of other voters out there who have chips on their shoulders just like you. I mean, you could help Viki reach them. Isn't that what grassroots politics is all about?
You're really terrific, you know that? That's the best snow job I've heard in at least 10 years.
Oh, great. So why don't you come down and put your money where your mouth is, tough guy? I mean, I know that I could probably learn a couple of things from you, but I am positive that I could teach you a few things that would make you a happier man. That is, if you're willing to give me a chance. Hey, Sarah. Sarah Gordon, Jake Webb.
Hi.
Hi. Am I interrupting something? Oh, no. Jake was just on his way out. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, maybe.
I knew you were lonely, but I didn't know you were that lonely. Sarah, Jake was here fixing the phone. I happened to arrive as he was leaving. Do not jump to conclusions.
I just thought you seemed kind of anxious to see him again.
I was campaigning for Viki.
Oh, campaigning?
That was the guy that was giving me a hard time at the press conference yesterday.
Kidding me. That's a coincidence.
Yeah, that's what I said. In addition to a couple of other things.
What do you mean?
I got slightly paranoid. I thought that maybe he was up to no good, so I just gave him a piece of my mind.
I'll tell you, paranoia is just running rampant in this family.
What do you mean?
I'll tell you later. Anyway, tell me more about this repairman.
Well, there's really not much to tell. He's got a real attitude about people who have money. I explained to him that Viki was a very sensitive person who cared about anyone, no matter what their station in life.
I hope you didn't put it exactly in those words.
No, well, not exactly those words.
Good. So then you just decided that you would spend a little bit more time with him for some more persuasion. Sarah, please.
Do you want to see him again?
Well, no, not particularly, especially not on the TV news, going on and on about Viki and cutting her down because she says it doesn't pay enough attention to the working class. So I solved that problem, invited him down to the headquarters tomorrow to meet Viki himself.
Oh, what? Nice move.
I don't think it's very good for her to get adverse publicity.
Oh, right. You're definitely right.
Look, I know that I am desperate when it comes to men, but trust me, I'm not going to jump on the first guy that I see.
That's good to hear. Did you find him interesting?
Yes, I found him interesting, but only because we had absolutely nothing in common. Not one thing. Don't look at me that way. I swear to God, this guy is not my type.
Well, your type's going to come along. I know it. And he's just going to sweep you right off your feet.
No. That's never going to happen again, Sarah.
Don't worry, I wiped my feet real good when I came in.
Gosh, I certainly appreciate that. How was your day?
Lousy. But you'll be happy I had Megan's phone officially bugged.
That does make me a happy man.
So why don't you make me a happy man now and give me the money I need to get out of the country?
Now, Jake, you're an intelligent young man.
This is true.
Isn't it true that when you bug someone's phone, it's necessary to monitor the ensuing calls?
Yep.
Well, you're the lucky man who gets to monitor Megan's calls.
You mean you want me to start listening to her conversations?
That's sort of what I had in mind.
Okay. Where's this monitor set up at now?
Well, wait a minute. No arguments? No ranting and raving about my getting you out of the country?
I figure, what's the use? All you'll do is threaten me again. So you're gonna have me transported back to Florida in handcuffs, so...
Smart man.
Yeah, but let's get something straight here. You've got me now, but as soon as I start listening to Megan's conversations, if I get something on her or her mother's campaign, you're gonna owe me again, and this time you're gonna pay up. And I'm willing to take the risk of going back to Florida just to get the satisfaction of seeing you squirm when your face hits the papers and TV, buddy. Now, I know I can't prove you've been laundering money, but I just figured this out. Just your alleged connection to these drug dealers is gonna be enough to destroy you in this town. Nobody will get near you. So, how does it feel, Michael, to be on the other side?
Listen to me. You just come through for me with the right information, and you'll have money and an airline ticket to the country of your choice. You have my word.
Okay. Just point me in the direction of the recorder and the headphones, and I'll start.
You wouldn't be working another angle to hang me now, would you?
Nope. You're the general. I'm just taking orders.
But why this sudden eagerness to move forward?
Because the sooner you get what you want, the sooner I can get out of here.
Matt?
Yeah, come in.
What happened between you and Jared?
Nothing.
Please don't lie to me. I heard you all in here. It was a horrible fight.
We just had a disagreement, that's all. Did he say anything to you when he left here?
No. Just said he had to go out and wouldn't answer any of my questions. He was pretty angry.
Good. Maybe I got through to him.
What, were you arguing about me? Is that why I was so upset?
I just told him you need your freedom, that's all.
I can't leave.
Lily, now come on. Why? What law says that you have to stay here?
You don't understand what Jared's done for me.
Oh, no. I really do. Believe me. He saved your life and gave you a beautiful new face. But it doesn't mean you have to sacrifice the rest of your life for him. Now, I really appreciate everything he's done for me. I really do. But I'm not going to hang around and be his servant for the rest of my life. We don't owe anybody that much. Listen, if you want your freedom, it's yours. Yours for the taking. Now, just get out of that chair and walk out of here.
Everything was so much simpler before you got here.
I'm sorry, Lily. I really am. I never meant to hurt you or make you unhappy.
You made me happier than I could possibly imagine. And frightened, too, because I have all of these feelings and I don't know what they are. I don't know what they mean. I don't know how to deal with them. All I know is that I need you to be a part of my life. Please don't go away, Matt.
Here's what to do when you don't find
All this week on the Home Show, Will Schreiner visits the Captain and Tennille at their Lake Tahoe house. Also learn how to increase your self-esteem and meet Miss